My name is Samuel. Lenny Samuel. You can call me Len. I'm a private eye. A private eye is a private detective. A detective who will work for anyone who will pay him. I am not a policeman. I work on my own as a private eye. My office is on the west side of Los Angeles, on the fourth floor of a high building. There are only 2 rooms in my office, the outer room and the inner room. The outer room is the waiting room. There are 4 chairs in the waiting room. Although there are never 4 people waiting to see me. In fact, there is usually no one at all waiting to see me. In the inner room, there is a cheap wooden desk. There is a big wooden chair for me to sit on, and on the opposite side of the desk, there is a low metal chair for my visitors. The rest of the furniture in my office consists of a large empty metal cupboard and a low bed in one corner. When there is a lot of work, I sometimes sleep in the office. The notice outside my door says, L. Samuel, Private Detective. That's me. I'm quite tall, nearly 2 meters, and I weigh 80 kilos. A lot of men say that I'm ugly, but women seem to find me attractive. I've got brown eyes, brown hair, and very nice teeth. I had a good nose too, until someone broke it in a fight last year. Recently, I haven't been very busy. In fact, I have had very little to do. However, I did have some work last month. It all started late one afternoon. When I was sitting in my office, I had just finished cutting my nails and I was about to clean them. Suddenly, I heard someone walk into the outer room. I always leave the door of the outer room open in case someone wants to come in and see me. When I heard the footsteps in the outer room, I wasn't very surprised. I thought that someone had made a mistake and come into the wrong office. It was probably someone looking for a doctor next door. But a moment later, there was a very quiet knock on the door of the inner room. Come in, I shouted and put away the scissors I had been cutting my nails with. The door opened and in walked one of the most beautiful women I had ever seen. She was about 18 years old, with blue eyes and long blonde hair. She was wearing a smart green coat and had a big brown handbag over her shoulder. Excuse me, said the girl. I'm looking for Mr. Samuel. I am Samuel, I said with a quick smile. Come in and sit down. The girl didn't smile back at me. No, I won't sit down, said the girl. Well, if you won't sit down, at least come in and close the door, I replied. The girl came in, walked over and put her handbag on my desk. Now, I said, what can I do for you? I need help, said the girl slowly, but I don't know if you will be able to help me. Are you a real private detective? Of course I am, I replied angrily. Didn't you see the notice on the office door? It says L. Samuel, Private Detective. I'm Samuel. I'm a private eye. All right, Mr. Samuel, the girl said coldly. There is no need to get angry. I have a little job for you. Right, I said quickly. What do you want me to do? It's very simple, really, the girl replied. I want you to find my sister. She has disappeared. I see, I said. Your sister has disappeared. Have you reported her disappearance to the police? The blonde girl shook her head. She looked very nervous and was starting to cry. No, I haven't told the police, she said. I don't want any trouble with the police. I just want your help to find my sister. She took a small pink handkerchief out of her handbag and dried her eyes. All right, I said. Tell me all about your sister. Her name is Elaine Garfield, said the girl. And what's your name? I interrupted. Helen Garfield, she replied. My sister disappeared a week ago. We had arranged to have dinner together last Monday night, but she didn't come. Perhaps your sister didn't come because she doesn't like the food you cook? I suggested. Don't try to be funny. I flew all the way from New York to see her last Monday. She said angrily. Oh, so you don't live in Los Angeles then? I said. No, she replied quickly. I live in New York. I flew right across America to see my sister. But when I got here, I discovered that she had disappeared. How do you know she has disappeared? I asked. Perhaps your sister just forgot about the dinner? The blonde girl took a deep breath. Look, she said, let me finish my story. If you don't stop asking questions, I will find myself another detective. Right, I said, I'm listening. I waited for my sister last Monday evening in my hotel, said the girl. But she didn't come. I telephoned her, but there was no answer. So the next morning, I went to the office where she worked. At her office, they said that she had been to work the day before, on the Monday. They also told me that she had left suddenly in the middle of the afternoon without telling anyone. After that, I went round to her flat, but there was no one there. The girl stopped for a minute and then continued. Mr. Samuel, I'm very worried about my sister. It's not usual for her to disappear suddenly like this. I'm sure that she's in danger and I want you to find her. All right, I said. It may be easy or it may be difficult, but I will find her. But first, tell me, why you have waited 6 days before coming to me? That's none of your business, the girl said. Okay, your sister's name is Ellen Garfield. What does she look like? I replied. Oh, that's easy. Helen Garfield replied. She looks like me. We are twins. Now, Mr. Samuel, how much do you charge? $50 a day, I said. Very well, Mr. Samuel, said the girl, but $50 a day is a lot of money. I hope that you will work hard for it. Oh, yes, I replied with a smile. I will work very hard. Now give me the address of your sister's flat and the name of the office where she works. I will start to work at once. The blonde girl wrote the addresses on a piece of paper and gave me the paper. One more thing, I said. Can you give me your address too? That won't be necessary, she replied, as she picked up her handbag. I will come and see you again tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock. Goodbye, Mr. Samuel. Without waiting for an answer, the girl turned around and walked out of the office. As I watched her walk out of my office, I smiled to myself. This is better than cleaning my nails, I thought. Then I began my work. After the blonde girl had left my office, I looked at the 2 addresses which she had written on the piece of paper. The first was Ellen Garfield, apartment 716, Manson Building, Sunset Place. The second address was صراحة هاد الادريس ما قدرتش نقراه، هاد الكتابة اللي كاتبينو به فيه غموض. Anyway, let's continue. Putting the paper in my pocket, and I got up and walked towards the door. Then I stopped and went back to my desk. I opened the top left-hand drawer and took out my gun, A38 Smith & Wesson. Then I put the gun back in the drawer. I decided that it was safer to leave it behind. It's easy to get shot if you are carrying a gun. I ran down the stairs all 4 floors and out into the street. My old gray Crystal was outside, so I jumped in and drove off fast towards Sunset Place. The Manson Building was a tall, ugly block of apartments. I parked the Chrysler outside and walked towards the big glass front doors. Hey, mister, a voice said. I continued walking. Hey, mister, said the voice again, you can leave your car there. I stopped and turned around. A man was in a gray uniform standing by the Chrysler. Hey, mister, the man repeated. You can't park your car here. Why not? I asked. Because only people who live in the Manson Building can park here. he replied. So I said, how do you know that I don't live in the Manson building? Because I'm the porter, the man replied. I work in the entrance of the building and let people in and out of the door. I know everybody here. Right, I said. Then please let me in. The porter and I walked up to the big glass front doors and he let me in. Who do you want to see? The porter asked. Miss Ellen Garfield, I said. She lives in apartment 716. I'm sorry, the porter replied. Miss Garfield is out. When did she go out? I asked, trying not to look interested. Mind your business, said the porter. I'm not going to tell you, and I am not going to let you go up to Miss Garfield's apartment when she's not there. Why don't you go for a walk? I said to the porter, and put $5 in his hand. I gave the porter the money to make him go away. The porter shook his head. No, he said. I gave the porter $5 more. Now go for a long walk, I said. The porter went out into the street and went up to apartment, and I went up to apartment 716, Miss Ellen Garfield's apartment. هذه هي لابارتي الاولانيه. حتى الغدا ان شاء الله غنقرا لكم بارتي حتى الثانيه، ولتحت في الديسكريبشن تاع هاد لا فيديو غتلقاو الفوكابولري اللي غادي خصكم تحتاجوا تكونوا عارفينهم. يعني ان شاء الله غتلقاو شي 40 حتى 50 ديال الفوكابولري. يعني الا كان كل فيديو خديتو منه 50 فوكابولري وتقسمت لكم هذه على شي 5، راه 50 في 5 حسبوها. اوكي، نشوفكم غدا في حلقه واحده اخرى ولا في فيديو اخر اللي غادي نكمل فيكم اللي غنكمل فيه هاد الاستوار هادي، ندير فيها بارتي 2. اوكي، بسلام عليكم حتى الغدا. كنتمنى انكم تكونوا سمعتوا مزيان.